Hello everyone, Jason Alea back here again, and today we're going to be talking about Josh Whedon and his interview yesterday with New York Magazine, and how he was replacing Zack Snyder on the Justice League set and everything, and he finally broke the silence on the allegations against him. He spent around 4 years not responding, and finally he's speaking up about it and giving his side of the story. So this is going to be very interesting to hear. Now, this is a quote from him. "They asked me to fix it, and I thought I could help," Whedon said before claiming that the decision to take up the project was one of the biggest regrets of his life. Okay, let's see why, or let's hear why. When he was brought on, Whedon said his role would strictly be limited to writing and advising, but soon it became clear that they lost faith in Snyder's vision and wanted him to take full control. A WB representative denied this claim, and Snyder has publicly revealed that he chose to leave Justice League to spend time with his family after his daughter had died by suicide. Yeah, that's a true story. But I could guarantee you that WB did not at least felt a little bit of relief when Snyder was gone, because after a response that they received from Batman vs Superman, it seemed like they wanted him gone off the bat, and they just used its opportunity. Still, the overall decision was that his daughter died, and that was the final nail in the coffin for Snyder to continue on with the movie. But yeah, I think WB really wanted him gone still, and this was just the opportunity for them. After becoming the new director, Whedon was nearly changed 40 days of reshoots and admitted from the start things were tense between him and the stars. Whedon's directorial style was much different than Snyder's, and he expected the actors to read lines exactly as they were written. And Snyder encouraged a bit more creative freedom. Now, so far, this is not like going too terrible from what I'm reading. I mean, it seems like though Joss Whedon is just a different director and just did not wasn't able on the bat to get along to work with the actors that well. It's just that his style is different from Snyder's, and I guess they could have gone used to it. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes directors like doing things exactly the way they should, and some directors like improvisation. I encourage in my short films a bit of improvisation. One of my short films was almost completely improvised in a one-take shot that was not in the scripts, and I don't know, it worked out for the best. So for me, improvisation, when it's done right, could work well. But things get worse from here. An unnamed crew member shared to New York that this change did not go well at all, especially after Whedon announced that he had never worked with a ruder group of people. So, you're going after the actors. Okay, you better have a good reason why you're going after the people who are going after you for workplace abuse and everything. This went on beyond simply directorial styles. However, the actors would continue to criticize his writing. An example, Wonder Woman actress Gal Gadot suggests that he didn't understand how superhero movies worked. Oh, Gal Gadot, I think you're right. Considering how Joss Whedon directed the Justice League, yeah, I think you're right. Say what you will about his Avengers movies, as good as they are. When he directed Justice League, I think it showed who Joss Whedon completely is. But I think Gal Gadot is right on this. Gadot also publicly stated that during the reshoot, Whedon threatened her career, if she did not read the lines as he wrote for Wonder Woman, or failed to follow his direction. Case in point, Flash falling on Diana's breasts. She did not do that. That was a stunt double. Whedon went as far to say that he would harm her career if she continued to push back on his rewrites. And how does Joss Whedon respond to this? I don't threaten people. Who does that? He continued to say that Gal Gadot just misunderstood him. English is not her first language, and I tend to be annoyingly flowery in my speech. Bruh, how are you able to make yourself both sexist and racist at the same time? Dude, what is wrong with you? What? You had 4 years to think about how you're going to respond to all these allegations. And this is how you respond. Freaking Hollywood, man. Oh my goodness. Let's continue on before I lose my mind. Whedon said he gave a specific example of the time when he was arguing with Gadot over a scene that she wanted cut. I bet it is the breast scene. Whedon said that he jokingly told her that if she wanted to jokingly, let me emphasize that, jokingly, told her that if she wanted to get rid of it, she would have to tie him to a railroad track and do it over his dead body. I know I sometimes have a dark sense of humor, but there's a time and a place and a person to talk to with a dark sense of humor. This is not the time or the place or the right person to joke like this with. I mean, I don't joke about dark things with my family at church. This is sort of the same thing. Why would you do this, Joss? Add the joke even. This doesn't sound professional. You are just making this worse. Okay. And Gadot responded to New York in an email saying that this was not true, that she understood perfectly. And, okay. You're saying that the English is not her first language, like she doesn't speak English well. Okay, yes, she's Israeli. English is definitely not her first language. She's from another country. That's understandable. You could nicely say that there was a bit of a language barrier, and I want to apologize through that, and I'm willing to improve and listen to my actors better. That's what you should have said. Something a little bit nice instead of something more demeaning to that of her ethnicity or language. It's just, man, this dude just kills me. And it's not like Gadot is terrible in English. From the movies I've seen from her, like the Fast and Furious movies or Red Sparrow or whatever that Netflix movie was called, she speaks fluent English. I am going to say that she is a very fluent English speaker, despite her being from another country. So I do not understand him not understanding Gal Gadot. Either he's just pulling things out of that, or he's just deaf for some reason. Okay, now on to Cyborg, Ray Fisher, who is probably the most vocal cast member from the Justice League set against Whedon and other people in the company of WB. And here's what he had to say about Ray Fisher. While Cyborg was the central focus on Snyder's vision of the film, Whedon downsized his role and would end up cutting scenes that Fisher said challenged stereotypes. And Whedon said, "It feels like I'm taking notes right now. And I don't like taking notes from anybody. Not even Robert Downey Jr. Okay. Not okay. Not understandable. Directors would usually like to keep things to themselves and do things exactly how they want. Um, how does he follow up with this? Um, Fisher accused Whedon of abusing his power and told that director that he even digitally changed the skin tone of an actor of color because he did not like the specific color of skin. Whedon responded, stunned was when the allegation was brought up that he'd given the whole movie a lighter look. That is true. He brightened the entire movie up to make it lighthearted. So that I could see that being a logical statement he will make. I'll give him that. Uh, and about Cyborg's role, he said he had to cut down Cyborg's role in his version of the film because the storyline made no logical sense, and he felt that Fisher's acting was bad. If okay, so according to Ray Fisher in an interview a long time ago, he said that apart from one scene, which is the rooftop scene, every scene in the Josh Whedon cut with him in it is a reshoot, apart from the rooftop scene. So, I'm guessing that every scene that Ray Fisher was in that Josh Whedon filmed, he was bad. And you know what? I could understand that because watching the Whedon cut, you could see an actor who just doesn't seem to care much about the character or the story. But when you watch the Snyder cut, you see an actor giving a crap about the story and giving a great performance, and his storyline actually made sense. For goodness sake. Just if you had a storyline that made sense right there. Why would you have to spend millions of dollars on reshoots to end up not being happy with it when you have something perfect? Ugh, this makes no sense. This is rotting my brain. He spent hours discussing these changes with Fisher in conversations that were friendly and respectful. Whedon believes that none of the claims Fisher made are either true or merited a discussing. We're talking about malevolent force. He said on the topic of Fisher's motives, we're talking about a bad actor in both senses. I love how Josh Whedon is just making Ray Fisher seem like a sort of Disney villain, or some sort of villain from like the Lord of the Rings. Like, this is the most powerful force in the universe that we gotta stop right now. He's the Darth Vader. He's the Lord Sauron. Just shut up, man. Shut up. You were the one that wanted to abuse your power physically at times against your actors. So just shut up, man. Just shut up. You're just making this worse. Okay. But yeah, everything else is about the Buffy the Vampire actors. And I'm not going to cover that right now. You can watch other videos for that. I just want to talk about Justice League because that's the most interesting part of what you guys want to hear. From what I'm seeing, there are times where Josh Whedon makes one good point, but then he makes 3 points that make him look even worse than he already did, and just make him look like a complete douchebag. And hearing his side of the story now, I can confidently say that Josh Whedon is a professional dick. There's no way going around that. This is a terrible human being that seems so full of himself and seems to blame other people for his mistakes instead of himself. I just hope that he doesn't direct again. after hearing this or reading this interview and hearing what everybody had to say about him, I hope that Josh Whedon doesn't work in Hollywood again, because this is a terrible person and someone that nobody should be working with. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.